When it comes to shaker style, the architecture may change from region to region, but there are three things you can always count on: pegs, oval boxes, and shaker style chairs. And if you incorporate those into your home, you'll be well on your way to capturing the shaker style. I'm hitting the road, searching for answers and finding great design. It's a quest for beauty, function, and of course, inspiration. To learn about what is characteristically shaker, I spoke with Susan Hughes, the Interpretation and Education Manager at Shaker Village of Pleasant Hill. During our talk, I learned that pegs are a shaker hallmark, but I didn't have to hear her say it. They were in every building. So the pegs, they're a fixture of all shaker homes?
Yep.
So what were they used for? Because they're very unique. You don't find those anywhere else, and they're all around the museum. I mean, every single room you go in, you see pegs.
Well, they hung up clothes, they hung up bonnets and hats, they hung chairs. You'll see them in the hall.
Chairs?
With the chairs hanging upside down. If you're sweeping the floor, do you want to have to move all the chairs back and forth? No, you pick them up, you hang them up on the peg, sweep the floor, and then put them back down. You'll see pegs also used as a visual mark, I guess, on the wall. These are incredibly high ceilings. These rooms are very tall. That peg line, that line of the peg rail breaks up that big white expanse of space. It gives your eye a place to focus. Along with the chair rail, the peg rail together breaks up that long white line.
Other than pegs, shakers are known for their chairs, so much so that they've almost come to be identified by them.
Sister Mildred Barker, who was a shaker who lived until the 1990s, said she was afraid she'd be remembered as a chair or a table because that's what people know about the shaker. So I would say the shaker chair is probably one of the signature items of the shakers. But each community made its chairs a little bit differently because different hands are making them. The little finials, the posts on the top of the ladder are very characteristic in each different community. Other communities did have a chair making industry that lasted well into the 20th century.
While incorporating the pegs and chairs into your decor will give a shaker feel, to really top it off, you need to add a few oval boxes.
When we talk about shaker icons, I think the oval box has to be one of those. The shakers didn't invent these. These were pantry boxes that were in use by almost everybody in the 19th century to store things like flour or nails, sewing equipment. But the shakers brought it to a fine art.
Why were they oval? I mean, like, why weren't they square or circular?
It has to do with how they're held together. They're actually built on a form. And the fingers over here are the laps held down with little copper tacks. On an oval, the angle is not so great as it would be with a round box, and so they don't spring open that way.
Really? So it's just for function why they're oval?
Exactly.
And what would they store in there?
Anything. Sewing boxes, sewing equipment, nails, tacks, flour, any kind of dry measure.
Really? So these were their just storage boxes? And they just put these in all rooms everywhere?
You'd see them in kitchens, you'd see them in bedrooms, wherever they had a function. And there were square boxes, but in a square box, every wall of a square box has to be nailed together. This is one continuous piece of wood lapped around and then nailed to itself. You don't have to overbuild it. It's very simple, it's very functional.
So to infuse a little shaker style into your home, all you have to do is install some pegs, get a few new chairs, and add a couple oval boxes to your shelves. It's really that simple, and when you're finished, you'll not only have extra storage, but also have a home similar to those belonging to the shakers. For extra information about where I've been and what I've learned, visit my website, www.askthedecorator.com.
I went amongst them to see how they went on.